Morning all. It is a cold day, the morning of the 30th of January, 2024. Um, my main goal for today is to attempt to install my exhaust system. I'll give you a tour of what I've got laid out in the ground here in a minute. Also wanted to let you know the latest on the gas tank here. I Let me just turn this around and carry it, be easier. All right. So with the gas tank, I went with a recommendation of my friend Brian to buy this kit made by KBS Coatings. It was $77. I bought it last night. It'll be here tomorrow, but it has everything I need to clean out this tank. Clean it, derust it, and then seal it from the inside. So I studied it extensively, and it looks pretty good. And he says he's had good luck with it. Yesterday, I went to a place south of Baltimore. They said it would cost at least $1,000 to renew this tank because they cut them open and completely make them like new and then have to weld it back together. And it's just, no, I'm not spending $1,000 to reuse that gas tank like that. You can get new ones. I've seen them for as little as $439. That's not little. Well, Brian likes to use the term the Lincoln tax. I'm not willing to pay that tax either, not for a gas tank. So I'm going to try the cleaning method. The new one is tempting, but one thing I don't like about it is it's meant for 64 and 65 Lincolns, so it has this extra indentation on the reverse side, which means you lose a gallon of capacity. So it's actually a 24-gallon tank instead of a 25-gallon tank, which is what this is. Not that that's a big deal for a car that's not a daily driver. 1 gallon of reduction in capacity is not going to hurt anything. But again, I don't really want to spend that kind of money if I can avoid it. That's, when you add shipping and all that and tax, you're talking $500 at least. So I'm going to give the less expensive solution a try first. And I think it'll be successful because I don't think the tank is in particularly bad condition. It just got corroded inside from sitting for so long and whatnot. So the other problem, though, is the weather. That kit requires temperatures of 55 to 85 degrees to be effective, and it's wintertime, and I don't have a heated shop. I just have a shed with no heat, and it has to be in a ventilated area, so I'm probably not going to be able to even clean the tank for at least another month or two unless I get an unusual warm spell, that lasts several days in a row, and I have the time to devote. So what I am going to do in the next few days is take this to the car wash, which is literally across the street from me. It's very close. I can just walk it over. It's light, so I'll just carry it over there and use a car wash wand to go inside of it and spray it out real good with soapy water and let it dry. I think that'll be a good first step, and then it'll just have to sit for a while. So onto the exhaust system. I have most of it laid out as far as what it might look like when it's under the car. These are the NOS resonators that I bought on eBay. So I know they'll fit without a problem. The only thing I'm missing is I got to get a 2-inch clamp to put those two halves together once I get it underneath the car. And then these pipes here you see were originally part of the original mufflers, which rotted out and can't be used. So I cut them off or removed them from the mufflers, and I already cut the end off of this one. The idea being that this flex hose is going to fit on top of that with an adapter fitting. I don't have the adapters laid out, but I found a way to make it fit. It's going to be a lot of clamps that hold all this stuff together, so I hope it doesn't leak, but at least it doesn't require any welding because I don't have any welding skills, nor do I have the equipment. So um, the dimensions of this muffler is pretty close to the original, so I know it'll fit underneath the car. I'm not too worried about that. I'm mainly just concerned about all the connecting points that are going to be held together with clamps, except for where the flanges are. Those aren't going to leak, but we'll see how this does. I've got the clamp sized correctly and all that, so I think I have a good chance of making this work. I better, because otherwise I've wasted some money with these generic mufflers that I bought. I previously showed what they were, but they're Walker mufflers. 18464 is the part number for them that I'm using. I think it was a website called Find It Parts or something like that, where you just get generic parts like this. Um, that's really about it. That's my main goal today, is to try and get the exhaust system on. If I'm successful, if I don't get too cold working out here, then I might actually try and start the car up too to see what it sounds like. If I do that, I'll have to lower it a little bit because I don't want to try and run it with it sitting at an angle like this, although maybe it wouldn't be a problem, I don't know, but we'll see. Right now, the main thing is I'm going to get started on the exhaust and hang the resonators first and go from there. All right, I'm underneath the car right now. I've already got the the resonators hanging from the hangers with new nuts. They're slid together right there at that juncture point. I have to go to the store and get a 2-inch clamp to tighten that. I did forget to put the flange gaskets in place though, so let me take care of that real quick before I move on to the next step. Quick update on the exhaust. You can see what this is eventually going to look like underneath here. This new muffler is a little bit short, but not too bad. It is a couple of inches shorter than the original, but it'll still work. I ended up having to cut an inch off of this nice extension pipe in order to get everything to fit in here correctly. So this is just a preview. I've still got clamps that I'd have to add on here and all that kind of stuff. And you can kind of see how it's beginning to look as far as how it might fit. It actually fits over here pretty well. And then I just have to figure out how I'm going to make these two match up. This pipe is actually over a little bit far. I think nothing is tightened down yet. Everything is just finger tight on the flanges and everything. So I'm not too worried about alignment right now. I'm probably going to end up cutting more of this pipe off, maybe going quite far back or something like that, and using my flex pipe here to connect it all together. At least that's what I'm thinking at this point. So I'm just kind of test fitting things right now, just seeing how they start to look and whatnot. So slow progress. All right, looking at the exhaust now, I think I've got things pretty much where I want them as far as the mufflers go. I just finished tightening down these flange fittings right here because those are immovable. They need to be connected, so there's no reason not to tighten those down. Eventually, when I'm fully satisfied, I'll probably cut this pipe right about here, so I have enough room to get my little adapter in there, and then there'll be a flex hose that'll go right there to finish that connection off, and they'll do the same thing on the other side. But it looks pretty good underneath, which is about as good as I was hoping. I'm pretty pleased with how it's looking. I think it's going to work out real well. My only real concern is after I put all the clamps on here that need to go in place to hold it all and tighten everything. I just hope it doesn't leak. It shouldn't. It shouldn't theoretically, but hopefully it won't. So, but overall, it's looking pretty good. So, once this is all connected together, then the flex pipe itself is what's going to support the rear of the muffler. So it's pretty strong. So I don't think that's going to be a problem. It's just going to be a matter of getting the cuts right. I'll cut this pipe just like on the other side, probably right around there, and then the flex pipe will connect that short gap there. So it's looking pretty good. Underneath, I've got the driver's side flange all tight and connected. However, the other side is not, because that head pipe, as I mentioned earlier, is not quite right. You can see here where it doesn't quite line up like it's supposed to. And I'm pretty sure if I loosen it at the exhaust manifold and twist it a little bit, it should line up. And that will have the benefit also of pushing it away from the body a little bit and the drive shaft. So that's why that's not connected. But and I haven't tightened that clamp there, right there in the middle. I'll save that for later. I think I can go ahead and tighten the nuts that hold the resonators to the hangers themselves, though. I don't think there's any reason to leave those loose. So in order to get to the front, I'm going to be forced to raise the front up enough so I can get under there. Might have to take the wheel off. In order to do that, I'm probably going to have to lower the rear back down because I have a feeling that if I try to raise the front right now, it might be unstable. But I don't know. I may give it a shot just to see. It'd be nice if I didn't have to take anything back down in the rear. All right, so far this is going really smooth. I was able to raise the front up a little bit, enough to get under there and loosen the nuts that hold the pipe to the manifold. Now the pipe moves freely, and you can see how it's moving. That's exactly what I needed to do. I needed to sit like that, which lines it up perfectly here at the flange, so that's just beautiful. I love it when a plan comes together. So all I got to do now is put my last bolt in here, a nut, lock washer, And oops, don't forget the gasket. That's kind of important. Get up in there. All right, I'll get back to you. All right, I'm wrapping it up for the day. I'm running out of time. I have to go do some other things, but I feel good about what I got done today. The resonators are pretty much fully installed. The only thing left to do is to tighten that connecting clamp between the two halves. I'll do that from underneath the car soon. Not critical right now. And I've got this one muffler on the right side, positioned kind of where I want it at the end here. I've got those three clamps tightened down, not completely, but tight enough to hold it in place where I want it, so it's not touching the car body anywhere as far as I can tell. So the end of it is situated pretty much where I want it. So I took this connecting pipe off again because I need to take it inside and cut off some more, but I want to get a longer straight section here so I have a better chance of getting that adapter to seal and sit in there before I put the flex pipe on. So I'll pick up on that probably in 2 or 3 more days. I don't think I'll be able to touch it in the next couple of days, Wednesday and Thursday, because of work. But I feel good about where I'm at. So have a good day.